Hello, I am Ajit Kumar Jha. I'm starting for the first time to make news programs in English for the new channel, the Public Global, which is actually part of Public India TV. I'll be making two videos per week on Saturdays and Sundays. So this is my first video, and today I'm going to focus basically on the mini marathon assembly elections that has taken place in India, where the numbers were basically came yesterday, and in fact, in the EC's election commission's website, the numbers are still trickling. So the the two states that went to polls, assembly polls, the eastern state of Jharkhand, which was at one time part of Bihar but became an independent state in the year 2000, and the western state of India, which is considered the economic powerhouse of India, the state of Maharashtra, with the capital of Mumbai. And remember, barely a few months ago, in early summer, April, May, the Lok Sabha elections were held, in which Prime Minister Modi came to power for the third time, but with a reduced majority. Remember 2014 and 2018 Lok Sabhas, Prime Minister Modi had come with a resounding victory. People were calling it Pirhik victory or even tsunami. But in 2024, the BJP did not perform as well. It barely scraped through with 240 seats. And ironically, the state of Maharashtra, where the BJP did rather badly, in fact, the India Alliance, which was led by the MVA players, the Congress, the Shiv Sena, Thackeray, and along with its other allies, had done extremely well. It was basically what one would call a left alliance led by the Congress, the NCP, and as well as other players. And somehow they had performed very badly. Their numbers were really down. The BJP was the worst performer. And the irony of ironies, that is precisely the state where the BJP today has had a resounding victory. The BJP has, out of 288 seats, the BJP had contested the maximum number of seats. It had almost contested 148 seats, and it has won 132 seats. 57 was won by the Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, and 41 by Ajit Pawar, the rebel from the NCP, who is also, by the way, a sort of cousin of Mr. Sharad Pawar. So they have together won 230 of the 288 seats. Remember, this is the third consecutive victory of the BJP in terms of assembly elections in this state. 2014, they had performed rather well with, I think, 222 seats. 122 seats. In 2019, they had about 105 seats. And this time, they have performed their very best. They have almost won 52% of the popular vote in the state. Absolutely resounding victory. Now, ironically, they had done very badly in the Lok Sabha. Now, let's move again to Jharkhand, the eastern state, which is, again, if Maharashtra is the industrial powerhouse, Jharkhand is actually the mining powerhouse of India. It has the largest deposits of coal, iron, mica, manganese, and several other minerals. In fact, at one time, the Indian the best mining college was based in Dhanbad, which is an industrial town. So remember, it was created, as I said, in 2020 by Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And the attempt even at that time was to, because the BJP always thought that the Sangh, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, has a link, umbilical link with the so-called tribals because of the amount of work that they had done in the among the tribals. The BJP thought of winning that state, and for a while it did. Raghubar Das was the chief minister of the BJP in Jharkhand, but of late it has slipped from the hands of BJP. Hemant Soren was the chief minister. And who is Hemant Soren? Hemant Soren is the son of the famous tribal leader from Jharkhand, Shibu Soren. Now, what there the BJP, which won 9 out of 13 Lok Sabha seats in the Lok Sabha elections, has been tossed aside. And that is rather shocking because the BJP had put all its might in that election. If you remember the campaign, during the campaign period, in fact, the Jharkhand Assembly elections took place twice, on 2 occasions, 13th of November and 20th of November. There was a gap of 1 week. And the BJP unleashed Hemant Biswas Sarma, the Assam chief minister, Yogi Adityanath, the Uttar Pradesh chief minister, Amit Shah himself. He addressed 11 rallies. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed more than 5 rallies. Also, they took help from the former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, who is right now the Agriculture and Rural Development Minister. And the slogan was basically, I would call it very acerbic, very negative. They talked about what the term they used was Ghuspaiti. The Ghuspaiti, which means basically Muslims crossing over from Bangladesh, entering into Jharkhand, and then they kind of fabricated a story that the Ghuspaitis had displaced the tribals, and therefore Jharkhand was turning into what they would claim into a more and more sort of outsiders were coming in, especially the minorities. Basically, they were targeting the Muslims. But the biggest mistake they made, other than this negative slogan, which actually never worked on the ground, the biggest mistake that the BJP led NDA made in Jharkhand is they arrested the chief minister Hemant Soren, they meaning the enforcement directorate. They almost gave, I think, if I remember correctly, 9 summons, several summons to the chief minister, and then they went and arrested him. And he, like a statesman, he just resigned before he was arrested, realizing that this is going to drag out in the courts. And the charges were allegations of corruption that the ED made. He did not get a bail because it was considered a special case. He first handed over the chief ministership to his colleague Champai Soren, a senior JMM leader, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader. And later, when that did not work, his wife came for a short while, Kalpana Soren, and she ran the state of affairs. And the entire strategy of arresting the chief minister on allegations of corruption, which were never proved, and the sort of Ghuspaiti allegations, again without any evidence, backfired like crazy, and the BJP lost. In fact, the BJP lost fairly badly in this election. They claim that they have almost managed to get something like 33% of their vote share, which they had got in the past. But the truth is, that is a result of the number of seats they contested. They ended up contesting almost, I think, 68 seats out of the total of 81, and their performance was not very good. In fact, the BJP strike rate in Jharkhand is less than 31%, 30.9. In contrast, if you look at the strike rate of JMM, for example, the JMM won 34 out of the 43 seats they contested. Their strike rate is 79.1%. Look at the sharp difference. The strike rate of BJP less than 31%. The strike rate of JMM 79.1%. Almost, almost close to 2.5 to 3 times the strike rate of JMM. The Congress, in fact, did pretty good. The Congress's strike rate is 53.3%. They won 16 of the 30 seats that the Congress contested. The Congress was obviously the ally of the JMM, and the other players along with the JMM, the allies were RJD, Rashtriya Janata Dal of Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, which is a major party, the single largest party in Bihar, and the left parties. All together, these parties managed to win a resounding victory, and Hemant Soren is going to be again the next chief minister. So this absolutely, utterly nonsense allegation, which the ED could not prove. In fact, it showed how the Enforcement Directorate is being used by the ruling party to manipulate and in a way sort of make fun of an existing chief minister, that to a tribal chief minister, remember. In fact, the arresting made the tribals come together, and the unity of the tribals is what has led to the massive win of the JMM Congress India alliance in Jharkhand. Now, the thing is, the same allegations, Batenge To Katenge was used in Jharkhand, Ek Hai To Safe Hai was used in Jharkhand, and now the BJP boasts that in Maharashtra, that proved to be the big slayer. That is why the BJP claims, in fact, Prime Minister Modi spoke last night where he claimed Ek Hai To Safe Hai was the main reason that we have won Maharashtra. Well, if they won Maharashtra, then why did they fail in Jharkhand? So it's not the slogan that made them win Maharashtra. The game changer in Maharashtra was 3 months before the elections were announced, the chief minister, Shinde, he announced the Ladli Behna scheme. Over there, they give it a slightly different name. The Ladli Behna scheme was started in Madhya Pradesh, and the chief minister, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who actually campaigned very heavily in Jharkhand, but not so much in Maharashtra, he had basically, he's the father of that scheme, you can say. He started it, and that was replicated in Maharashtra by Shinde, whereby these Ladli Behnas, poor women, would get 1,500 rupees per month. And what Chief Minister Shinde, who's a really wily fox, what he did is he ensured that 2.5 crore of the Ladli Behnas ends up getting 7,500 rupees even before the elections were held. And then he went on and promised that he's going to sort of raise that once he comes to power, and he'll continue. Now, that I think proved to be a game changer. 6% more women voted for the BJP combined, the Mahayuti, compared to its own 2019 records. So basically, there was a women upsurge, and that is what helped the BJP win in Maharashtra. In fact, ironically, it's a similar scheme with a different name in Jharkhand that Chief Minister Hemant Soren had used to sort of popularize his programs, the welfare programs. He had unrolled a slew of welfare programs under his last 5 years, and that is what helped him to win in Jharkhand. So the basic point is, it's not so much the slogans of Batenge To Katenge and Ek Hai To Safe Hai. These are basically polarizing slogans. A better slogan of Prime Minister Narendra Modi was Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. But in this particular election, they got this slogan from Yogi Adityanath. He was the one who started Batenge To Katenge. Prime Minister Modi gave it a certain sophistication by saying Ek Hai To Safe Hai. These are slogans basically attacking the minorities, at the same time attacking the caste survey that Rahul Gandhi had been sort of proposing and propounding ever since the Lok Sabha campaign had begun. So all in all, the same formula that the BJP claims worked in Maharashtra failed miserably in Jharkhand. And in fact, in Jharkhand, the story is that this tribal chief minister, along with his wife, Kalpana Soren, and their two children, the photographs have been flashing across screens, they sort of alone beat the mighty Leviathan of the BJP, the mighty blitzkrieg campaign of the BJP. Amit Shah failed, Prime Minister Modi failed, and so did these imported chief ministers from Assam and Uttar Pradesh. Nothing worked because Hemant Soren is a charismatic leader. Only 26% of the vote in Jharkhand is tribal. But it's not only the tribals who voted overwhelmingly for Hemant Soren, but the OBCs, the Dalits, the minorities. It was a coalition across. If you look at the map of Jharkhand, it's only the urban areas in the north that the BJP has won. The complete tribal belt in the south, east, and west, the JMM has completely what they say in Hindi, jharu mara hai. They kind of won the entire southern base of Jharkhand. Well, in Maharashtra, it's the opposite. If you look at the map of Maharashtra today, it's basically the Mahayuti, which has won all around in almost all the regions overwhelmingly. So two separate states, one in eastern India, one in western India, with very different stories, both held right after the Lok Sabha elections, and just barely a few months. And the results are just the opposite of what one expected. Most exit polls went wrong, except for one. One exit poll by Pradeep Gupta was the only one which pointed out that the JMM-led India alliance is going to romp home in Jharkhand. He was proved right, and it was the same Pradeep Gupta who held the exit poll after all the exit polls were held. He's from Axis India. I've worked with him for 7 years when I was the editor of India Today. And it was the same Pradeep Gupta who pointed out that the BJP might win as much as the Mahayuti, as much as 200 seats. Of course, they crossed that number. They ended up close to 230. So it's a great lesson. Elections are won not because of premeditated slogans, but because of hard work at the ground. The Lok Sabha election and Vidhan Sabha elections in India have a very different story, very different mandate, even if they are held just within barely a few months of each other. Thank you very much. We'll make many such videos in the future. Please subscribe to the Public Global. Thank you very much.